Okay, so there's such a demand for shalom bayis videos, and I'm reminded of the Chafetz Chaim's mashal. He said this by one of the great Knesias Hagdolas, the big gatherings. I think it was 1929, and he got up to speak, and he was speaking about the ravaging fire of assimilation, of Jews assimilating, even then, 1929. And then he sat down. And he got up again. He has to get up again, which is a very audacious move. And he said, I think no one really got what I was saying. And the reason is because probably people are thinking to themselves, okay, what can I do? What do I know about speaking to someone about Shabbos? What do I know about speaking to someone about kashrus? Like today, I'm not a kiruv professional. I don't know how to do it. So he said there's a mashal. Famous mashal that he said in 1929. He said, imagine that there's a small village that's on fire. So the fire is ravaging throughout the town. Finally the fire engines come in and they see this young person, and he's just standing and he's watching the fire burn through the village. So they say to him, why aren't you doing anything? So he says, what can I do? The fire is just way too much for me to handle. There's nothing for me to do. And one of the captains on the fire engine, on the fire truck, says, what do you mean? If you see a fire, even if you think you can't take care of the whole fire, take a bucket. Take a bucket of water and start pouring. Do something to contain some of the fire. So here I am. I'm definitely humbled by this incredible challenge that I think we are right now experiencing. It's a magefa. It's a plague that's plaguing every one of us and every home and the entire world, not just the Jewish community, the entire society. And that is the breakdown of shalom bayis. And we have to do whatever we can, even if it's small buckets. And probably requires that I have to speak a little bit more direct. And Hashem should give me the siyata dishma, and please forgive me if I'm maybe being too direct. And even combining the husband and wife shalom bayis, because it's too much of an emergency. It would be really nice if we have time and we could fix, but every day when I get another call about a fight and an argument and a home being destroyed, and the worst part about it is the kids being thrown around and being destroyed psychologically. And then there's yesterday someone gave me an organization to help with an organization, fundraising organization for kids that are in separated homes that need tutoring and everything else. That means they're called orphans with parents. It's beyond a tragedy. It's beyond tragic, and we gotta do whatever we can. So we gotta start speaking about how do we take care of this fire. So number one, I may have said this and we're gonna have to repeat a lot of things over and over again. To me, it seems quite clear. It's about willing to work on ourselves. It's about taking responsibility. It's about standing up to who we are. Now, the first step maybe to that is identifying, okay, so what is our challenge? When I teach Chassanim and Kalas, I say, look, most arguments could be solved. So long as we're not attacking each other, so long as we are aware of each other's chesronos, each other's lackings, each other's triggers, and instead of attacking each other, when we get triggered, we say, whoa, that usually is going to trigger something in me, and it's something that's lacking in me. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to change it overnight. I'd love to change it. But the first thing is, and there's actually, I forgot what it's called, there's a term for it. I don't remember what it's called in the psychology world. But it means that it's interpersonal working out. Meaning, is that if I say to my wife, when you say this, or when you do this, or when we go to a party, or we go to a simcha, and you do this, and what it does for me, it causes me to feel like this and this and this. And it's not about you, it's about me. It throws me off. And I wish I could work on it. But maybe we could figure out how, in our relationship, to be able to deal with it when it happens. That's a whole different world. Because that means I'm not attacking. I'm sharing. And not only am I sharing, I'm sharing my chesaron that I need to work on. That maybe I wasn't aware of until I got married and suddenly it got triggered. And it's somewhere in the past and I need to heal from it. And what I'm asking you is to do a chesed. And there's two things a wife can do. She can certainly help and say, let's try to figure out how to heal this. Maybe sometimes we need an outside person. Maybe the most important thing is to daven. The biggest koich of a wife is a koich tefillah. A wife that davens for the success of her husband. First of all, it helps her that she knows, wait a minute, we're one with this. And even if my husband has this and this and this chisronos, but he wants to heal. And that's already an incredible step in the right direction. Let me know what you think.